In this lesson, we'll finish the deformations of the pinky. We'll start first with the B control. You can go ahead and rotate that up. And start to paint some weight. So I'll start by adding weight to, or coming from, the pinky bone, that first bone there. Also head over to the weight tool, there it is, or the paint weights tool, that is. We can start to use this to bring some of this weight back. Fix up some of the crunching. Okay, so scrub back and forth. Looks like a few of these points we can bring back a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Probably do that a few more times. Alright, great. So from here we definitely need to paint some of these points to bring those back. Okay, that's starting to look better. Scrub back and forth, see how that looks. Okay. Alright, so we'll add a few more refinements. And then we can move on to the pinky's root after. Okay, I'd say that's looking pretty good. What I'd also like to do here is just go ahead and fix up some of the weight here, bringing that to the pinky's root instead of to its second bone that's weighted to currently, so it's not so blocky. Let's go ahead and choose that bone, head over back to the weight brush and start to tweak a few of these spots. Okay, that's starting to look better. If you need to, you could always go in and decrease your strength even more, let's say to about 0.2. We definitely need to do that for some of these areas here. Then it's just a matter of swapping back and forth between the two bones and refining the weight until we have something we like. Okay, so I'll take this point and definitely want to go ahead and bring that back, bring that down. And to do that, I actually want to go ahead and select the next bone down and paint weight to bring more influence coming from that bone. Okay, so that's starting to look a little bit better. Let's see here, maybe we can fix the topology a little bit more underneath the finger. Smoothing this area out. And then we could always use paint blend weights to also kind of tweak this. Alright. Going back to the root of the pinky, I like to add some weight underneath this the section to, again, smooth these areas out. Okay, so I'm going to call that good for now. Let's see how this all looks. Just scrub back and forth. All right, great. Of course, we don't want to just look in one axis. Let's go ahead and rotate this around and see if we like what we're getting. This looks very nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo that. And from here, we can go ahead and delete the keys on this and take care of that pinky root to finish. So we'll go to frame 10 and we'll actually go ahead and just rotate downward. And now let's get right to it. So here we're definitely going to want to take some of these points that are weighted more to the hand bone and bring those down to this pinky root. So I'll select the root, go to our brush, starts to bring these down. Okay, and feel free to go to your options and decrease your strength even more. Let's say to 0.1. We'll definitely need to add some more finer tweaks to this section. Okay, great. That looks good. So we can bring some of these points down, definitely. So we have something we like. Okay, we're getting a little bit of pulling there. We'll need to bring those points down. And it looks like we're just about finished. Okay, we'll check underneath the hand. Okay, some of this we're going to need to blend right back to that hand bone. So I'm going to choose that. Start to pull a few of these up, not much. I'm going to need to go back and forth here between this envelope bone and the pinky's root. Alright, so I'll call that good. Select the root of the pinky. We'll go ahead and add some weight. We're really making some great progress here. And by mirroring our weights over, we're going to save a whole lot of time. Okay, so I'll probably just tweak a few more of these, just adding a very minimal amount of weight. And now we can pull back and get an idea of how this all looks. See if we can add any more changes. And I'm going to actually call that good. Let's go ahead and rotate this around and get an idea of how it's all moving. Alright, excellent. So again, there's our root. Great. Alright, so again, we're making some great progress here. That's going to wrap up the pinky. I'll go ahead and set that back to 0 and delete the keys. Okay, so now that the pinky is finished, we have left to bring our attention to the thumb. And then we'll also need to tweak the hand bone itself, because if we were to take a look at one of our twist controls, we could see how that's distorting our hand. But even with this, again, our initial bind is very nice. We don't have too much work to do to fix this up. So again, in the next lesson, we're going to go ahead and finish up the thumb. And then afterwards, we can finish up our hand and continue to move down the arm. After we're done with that, we can go back and start to smooth out some of the areas in the leg and the spine. until they're satisfactory, and then mirror over and call our character finished if there's no more other tweaks to make after we mirror. So let's move on to the next lesson and finish up the thumb.